Hey everybody, what's up? Welcome back to Ed and Eddie Silver and Blue, here with our Cowboys Chargers prediction. Who do you think is going to take the W this week? Let's find out.
Welcome back. Let's go! Here we go. After a tough loss in week 1, we go on the road again to the LA Chargers. Beautiful SoFi Stadium. We don't want it to start 0-2.
No, and I mean, they've shown statistically that teams that start 0-2 rarely ever make the playoffs. I mean, even if we did, we might be at the mercy of a weak division. Why? But
that's the only reason we would if we happen to lose in week 2.
Why not just get ahead of the game and not go 0-2? I mean, how you feeling about this week, Ed?
I'm going to give my prediction at the end.
Okay.
But I'm going to break it down first of all by, offense, defense, special teams. Special teams, I'm going to give that to the Chargers just because until Dallas proves otherwise, man, their special teams is on my shit list.
Yeah, I'd probably give it to my old alma mater, Rosemont High School. Their special teams might out-edge them. But, I mean, yeah, special teams, prove it to us otherwise. I mean, we can't competently cover punt returns. We can't competently
we had a bad back, the kicker. So.
Oh, that's why we kept him on the roster. No, wait. No.
Maybe he'll make a comeback. I hope so. We'll need that.
You know what? For, what is it, his 9th year in the league or something like that? For a 9th year kicker, it's not even asking a lot to kick average, as in not miss 3 kicks. If he would have missed 1 kick, we would have won.
How about don't miss an extra point?
Yeah.
It's pretty bad.
And here's the big elephant in the room, because I know a lot of us are asking about it. Defense. How do you feel about the D this week, Ed?
We're missing our starting 2 defensive ends.
Yeah.
Ugh, that hurts. That's bad. For some reason, though, I don't think that will affect the defense that much. The defense, as we've said all the time, they don't have to be perfect. They don't have to shut people down. You don't shut people down in the NFL anyway.
No.
Just slow them down a little bit. And I do think that they've improved in so many other areas. I'm not too worried about it.
And, I'll be honest, if it was just Gregory or just, Lawrence, I'd feel a lot better. But because it's both, I got a little weird feeling in my stomach. I will say, I think that mixing in the linebackers like Jalen, outside rushers, might mitigate that a bit. But no team is ever going to be better losing their starting 2 defensive ends.
But you know what? Let me just ask you seriously. What's D-Law really done lately?
I will say, man, for the run and that amazing forced fumble, he is a presence in the run game.
Okay,
admittedly,
you gave me a good answer. I'll give you that. That's fair. But sack-wise, and I know people say, he's one of 3 quarterbacks with 200 pressures in the last 4 years, whatever. But the other people on that list have a ton of sacks along with it.
And
you can say, I'm sorry, let me just finish this. You can say the other stuff is good too, but you don't pay him that much to do the other stuff. We need some sacks, and frankly, he hasn't been doing that for whatever reason. What if Basham comes in or Armstrong comes in, and all of a sudden they're getting a sack here or there? We get a couple sacks out of them. That would be shocking and awesome.
We didn't pay him expecting him to be Von Miller or Khalil Mack. We paid him out of desperation because we needed a stud defensive lineman, which he is, but he just ain't no Von Miller or, Khalil Mack.
I think they can float along without him for a little while, though. I don't think it's going to, end their season or anything with his injury.
Mm-hmm. And defensively, I don't see us being able to hold them under 30 anyhow. So, I mean, with D-Law or without. So I'm thinking it's going to rely on one unit for this game. Ed, how do you feel about that?
I feel great about the offense, of course. I wanted to say about the D real quick, though, before we finish. Yeah. Many times you see a team with a lot of injuries, whether it's offense or defense, just everybody in the world picks against them. And for some reason, it really brings them together, and they come in and they shock the world. I don't know if there's a big world shock to come in week 2, but I do think that they're going to play better than people expect, even with the injuries. I do.
Oh, yeah. And kind of like what we're building towards, I don't see it because of the special teams or the defense. I see it because of the offense.
Right.
How do you feel about that, Ed?
I think Zeke is going to go off this game. You're going to get 130 plus from Zeke.
That'd be nice. Yeah, and even if I didn't expect that much from Zeke, I'm kind of feeling like a 90, 100, maybe yard game with a little bit more like 40 or 50 out of Pollard. I just feel like they aren't going to be able to stop our offense.
And they couldn't stop that Washington running back last week. He got, what, 120 or something?
J.D. McKissick, yeah. And the reason why I feel so good about it is just last week we had to become so one-dimensional against the Bucs with like no running game, and Dak still threw for over 400.
Yeah.
With a running game, I think their defense is just going to be too much on their heels. And yes, for all the people in the comments, they're going to score 30-plus points. I already see it.
The Chargers?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
But I don't see them being able to hold us under 38, really. No. Like, they'll score, but I don't see our offense being stopped in any way, shape, or form against them. They might have 1 or 2 punts out of us, but I would be absolutely stunned if we scored less than 38.
Right? Mm-hmm. I agree with that. Well, I'm not quite ready to go on the prediction part yet. I will say, I think Zeke's going to have a good game, but I think Dak, too, will continue his amazing streak. I see no reason why he won't continue to go off. He might be under a little more duress. I pray the Dallas coaching putting together a little scheme to help protect Dak a little more, maybe a little more chip in, a little more movement. I want to run right at Bosa as much as we can. I think there's been some videos I've seen that show that he is susceptible to getting run at.
Yeah, and something else I want to see, now that he's had his first game, got his little sea legs back, I want to see about 3 to 4 of those read option plays. We did one against the Bucs, got about 2 or 3 yards, but it's just that idea of putting it in the defensive mind, like, hey, we can do this play and it can work.
Yeah.
I definitely want to see more of that, especially now that he's starting to get back into a game shape.
Yeah, we always call for that. I say 1 or 2 is fine. He likes them a little more, but that's okay. The wide receivers. I think, you watched the game last night, and the wide receiver separation is almost nil in so many cases. And when you watch Dak's highlights, the Dallas wide receiver separation is just off the charts, man. It's so fun to watch, and I see no reason why that won't continue. I think the offense is going to be unstoppable. Like you said, they're going to probably go 35, 38, something like that.
Ed, what's the best thing to cook outside? Barbecue chicken. That's exactly what I see happens with our wide receivers, man. Like, I don't see many, if at all, cornerback trios in the league being able to stop them.
No, and they got an injury back there,
and
too.
I will say, even with Gallup being out, like, I don't know who's going to be able to shut down Coop, and
Wilson's decent too.
Yeah, Lamb and Wilson. I just, even with a little bit of the dropsies, which I hope to see a little bit better, I'd even be settled for 1 drop this game, just let's bring it down a bit. But I don't see them having the cornerback or the secondary to really keep up with our wide receiving core.
No, not at all. Prediction time.
All right, I'm calling it 38-28 Dallas. I think they will score, but I don't see them being able to stop us, or at least our passing game in the long run. And I think the fact that our running game will be effective enough to at least eclipse 100 yards, I just see our offense just rolling like a steam train, man. I don't see them being able to stop us.
Nope, I agree 100%. I think that it's not really a road game. There's going to be so many Cowboy fans there. That's right. I don't think that's going to be hurting them at all.
No.
So, I like 38-34. Cowboys in a shootout. The only way I can see it going south is if Dallas gets a couple of ugly bad breaks early. If you get a couple, a strip sack out of nowhere, a weird bounce off the receiver's hands,
3 missed kicks,
something like that. That could turn the tide, and that could get ugly. But if that doesn't happen, I do think Dallas will end up with the victory, high-scoring victory.
Absolutely. So everybody, hey, thanks for watching the video. Let us know what you think. What's your prediction for this week? Do you sense a Dallas blowout like me? Do you sense a close shootout like Ed? Let us know what you think in the comments.
Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to hit that like, because every time you do, an Eagles fan cries.
All right, everybody, take care.